Europe's most heartbroken, and even trapped princess. These are the titles often given to Princess Charlene of Monaco. Could there be some truth to these labels? We've gathered some red flags in her body language that could be desperate pleas for help. And here's the very first of them. Charlene, known for her regular posts on Instagram, unexpectedly deleted her account in late August. Even though there were almost 100 posts and she had nearly 500,000 followers. No official explanation has been given, but many believe it could be due to ongoing divorce rumors with Prince Albert. What if she was asked or forced to do it? Surprisingly, around this time, paparazzi photos suddenly appeared online. New shots reveal the royal family's yacht getaway in Corsica. But did you catch Charlene's distant gaze? Honestly, it looked like she was putting on a show of being a happy family. Was it all just for the cameras? After mysteriously disappearing from the public eye for almost a year, Charlene is suddenly everywhere again. From lavish Monaco candlelit dinners to high-profile sports events, she's been making the rounds with Albert. At the 74th Red Cross Gala in Monaco, all eyes were on the couple's surprising matchy-matchy ensembles. Experts couldn't help but notice that despite the just-married vibes of their outfits, the couple's interactions screamed otherwise, and the spark between them seemed more like a brief flicker.
What is lacking in these photos are those smaller moments when a couple catch each other's eye and smile, or their features soften to suggest happiness together.
Notice Charlene's weary looks and half-hearted smiles. What's truly hidden behind her tired gaze? Well, let's rewind a bit, because the signs were there earlier. At the 2022 Grand Prix, there was noticeable tension between Charlene and Albert. Body language expert Judy James observed Charlene's apparent reluctance to be close to Albert. Her handbag, interestingly, seemed to serve as a barrier between them. James commented, "Her bag placement seemed intentional, creating a distance." This becomes even clearer when you see the genuine joy she exudes around her twins, Princess Gabriella and Prince Jacques. With her kids, there's a true spark. It's a stark contrast. Here's another example of the disconnect between her and Prince Albert. At the 2019 Monte Carlo TV festival, Princess Charlene looked unhappy. It seemed like she was at a sad event rather than a celebration. And at the 2017 Monaco track event, there was an obvious distance between the couple. Albert tried to put his arm around Charlene's shoulders for a photo. Instead of looking romantic, it felt staged. And like she didn't want to be that close to him at all. In fact, there have always been questions about the couple's relationship. So let's go all the way back to the day they said yes to each other.
Wait.
It took them 10 years from the beginning of their relationship to finally wed.
I'm a very stubborn person. Okay, and I took my time. What can you say?
Both stubborn.
I think...
So it's not surprising that their wedding in 2011 was called the biggest party in the last 55 years in Monaco.
I think the party starts now.
Except the bride didn't seem to be having any fun at all. Instead of enjoying one of the happiest days of her life, the beautiful princess sobbed through the whole ceremony. And while she cried, the prince's reaction was oddly detached, just observing as she dried her tears. Rumors swirled that before the wedding, Charlene tried to flee to her home country of South Africa not once, but 3 times. Reportedly due to Albert's alleged ongoing infidelity. Each time, it's said that authorities stepped in and convinced her to return. Reports even suggest that her passport was briefly taken away. Later, Charlene seemed uneasy about her wedding in interviews and often changed the subject when it came up.
This excitement as the soon-to-be princess.
Well, you've arrived at a time where Monaco is at its busiest, I think. The Formula One Grand Prix is an extraordinary event and it attracts a lot of people, but it's all good.
Albert himself was tight-lipped about family matters too.
This is your first event as a prince and a princess. Do you feel any different?
Haven't felt really different yet, but probably sink in a little later. But it's wonderful. I'm very, very proud of her.
Thank you.
Great.
One gets the impression that they were either afraid or unwilling to show their feelings for each other, or perhaps they just didn't have any. The only cute moment in the ceremony was when Charlene laid her head on Albert's shoulder, and he didn't seem to be expecting it at all. And did Charlene ever expect to spend her honeymoon alone instead of on some exotic island? The newlyweds traveled to South Africa, but stayed in separate hotels 9 miles apart from each other. Predictably, their marriage was widely regarded as unhappy after all these details were revealed. But there were a number of other reasons for the label, too. Immediately after the wedding, Charlene was pestered with questions about heirs. Having children as soon as possible appeared to be Albert's main goal.
I love children, and I've always wanted to have children of my own someday, so we'll see in the next couple of months or years, or yeah.
When Charlene didn't get pregnant after a year, the pressure only increased. Charlene got so sick of it that she forbade anyone to ask her questions about motherhood. But even when she had twins, the pressure on the princess didn't stop. Another point of discussion revolved around her appearance. Rumors swirled that she was pressured to alter her physique. As a professional swimmer, Charlene had athletic shoulders and a muscular back. However, apparently she was forced to adopt a more feminine look. The princess didn't even hide the fact that she felt out of place.
I avoided princess parties, and it was hard to keep me in a dress. My hero was Zorro, so I wanted to be...
Although Charlene's fashion has evolved significantly over the years, she has still never embraced the traditional princess look, and her hairstyle choices reflect this. When Charlene first sported a short haircut, many speculated it was her way of rebelling against royal norms, and her dramatic hairstyle change in 2020 raised eyebrows. With shaved sides, she rocked as a punk. Gossip writers speculated that she was facing a personal crisis. The transformation drew parallels to Britney Spears' notable shaved head prior to her rehab stint. But the princess had her own take on her new look.
This haircut was my decision. I wanted it for a long time. The style pleases me, that's all.
Or maybe it was a message specifically for her husband? Not long before this, Albert was confronted with a letter from a 15-year-old girl claiming to be his third illegitimate child. The mother, a Brazilian woman named Marisa, alleged she had an encounter with the prince in a nightclub during the early 2000s. And this was around the time he was already with Charlene. Initially, the princess publicly stood by her husband, declaring her unwavering support for him. But soon after, she headed to her home country, supposedly for a charitable mission. What was meant to be a 10-day trip extended to almost 10 months.
I am African. This is my hair. It will always beat. It's in my heart, it's in my veins.
Her extended stay was explained as recovery from multiple surgeries related to ear, throat, and nose issues. But was it truly just about her health? Or might it have been an escape from the emotional strain of the rumored affair?
And it has been obviously a very challenging time to be here.
During her extended stay, Albert only visited her once. Naturally, official photos of his arrival were quickly released. But Charlene missed out on significant moments with her children, their birthdays, and even her wedding anniversary with Albert. And after her return from South Africa, she departed once more, reportedly to a clinic in Switzerland. Albert said his wife needed to rest. But what was she really being treated for? German reporters suggest that Charlene was admitted to Paracelsus Recovery, one of the world's most exclusive and costly medical centers. Some treatments at this clinic can exceed 300,000 euros per month. Could this be the cost to keep the princess quiet? Well, not really. It has been suggested that under a private deal, the royal family's head provides Charlene with 12 million euros annually. For what, you might wonder? For attending social events and performing other royal duties. This arrangement is believed to be in place to portray a united royal front. Lately, Charlene has been living away from Monaco, and there are rumors that she meets Albert only by appointment. In addition, she was seen in Milan without her wedding ring. Still, both the princess and prince maintain that their marriage is strong and they are relishing their time together after being apart for so long. But can we take their words at face value? What are your thoughts on this rather unusual relationship? And if you enjoyed this story, be sure to check out 10 Red Flags about Princess Charlene's royal life in Monaco.